My number 3, speaking of being cruel to the elderly, this is season 10.
10, okay.
As soon as I tell you the title, as I tell you the title, you're going to be like, oh, that episode.
Okay.
Season 10, episode 8, Homer Simpson in kidney trouble.
Oh, dear God. This man's kidneys have exploded. There's nothing left.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get older. It's one of those natural things. Beautiful in its way.
Oh, I fucking know this episode. Yeah, this is where Grandpa's kidneys fail, and they need Homer to donate a kidney to Grandpa.
So, it starts off, it has one of our favorite moments in all.
Yes.
Yeah, let me get to it. Yeah, it's unfortunate that it's in this
unfortunate
because
this piece of shit episode.
I never watched this episode.
No, I never
I
ever
only watched
this
one clip.
Yeah.
So it starts off. I can't say.
But I've watched this clip like a million times. The problem with this is like this may be one of my favorite Simpsons jokes ever in such a dog shit episode.
So it starts off with the second. Get to it. Okay, so the Simpsons go to a ghost town attraction. It's like one of those.
I just know what's coming. I know you're gonna cut to it and add it in the video, but like I'm just imagining it.
So it's they go to like one of those ghost town attractions where it's like one of those old timey villages where everybody dresses up in period
like
accurate
prospectors and cowboys
costume.
And,
It's like schools would go to field trips to these places, right? It's one of those lame, whatever. Everybody's dressed up like it's as if it's the old west, okay? And they end up bringing Grandpa along with them on the trip, and this leads to they do one of those like reenactment moments, and it's like, oh, and they have like a tour guide.
Yeah, it's high noon, and there's a shootout.
And there's a shootout, and they have all the actors, and they've got like prop guns, and it's so funny. We're like, they're all just jumping around, firing blanks at each other, and it's so over the top. And then out of nowhere, this like disheveled, fat, slobbin-looking guy who just looks like he's just
still dressed in a costume.
He's in period accurate wear, but it looks like he just came out of like a dumpster, and he's got like a bottle of booze, I think, in his hands, and he's like, where's the shootout? And all of the tour group starts laughing, and then the tour guide is like, he's like, I can't even remember his name. Do you remember the name of the guy?
I don't remember.
I think it's like Red or something. He's like, oh, there's old Red. He used to play the town's
barkeep.
No, I don't think it's barkeep. I think it's preacher.
Oh, is it? Okay, I don't.
He's
remember.
like, he used to play the town's preacher until we. Maybe it was the mayor. Anyways, he's like, he used to play the town's whatever until we had to let him go in the spring. But he still hangs around.
Which was a gunfight. There's old Curly. He played the town preacher until we laid him off, but he still hangs around.
Which is alcohol problem.
The implication of like they're not paying this man and he's just living he's homeless and he just lives at the attraction.
The dark implications.
But they don't get rid of this. This is the darkest Simpson joke in the entire series.
Yes,
is this joke.
Yeah.
This is probably the darkest joke. The implication that there's this.
He used to work for us, but he still hangs around.
Right.
Like what? Who is this man?
Right. And he's just like he this homeless person that they're not employing him, and they just let him stay there because people find him. That was the implication I got.
People
find it funny that this drunk, like, sad man is bumbling around, and they think it's part of the show, that it's like, oh, look, it's the town drunk, right?
Yeah.
But it's not. And he just lives at the ghost town attraction, and then the funniest line of all time.
We'll play it.
Just play it.
There's old Curly. He played the town preacher until we laid him off, but he still hangs around.
Help me, please. I'm sick.
But it's funny, Marge. The guy's sick.
Shouldn't we help him? He knows what he's doing.
Help me, I'm sick.
The
The line delivery.
Whoever said that
Yeah,
line,
the way they deliver that line. Help me, I'm sick.
Like, sick.
Jesus Christ.
Sick.
What the fuck?
Sick. What the fuck does that mean? Sick.
Why is it so dark? It's so out of left field. Like,
It comes out of nowhere. There's no call. There's
no call.
But like sick? What does that mean? Help me, I'm sick. I assume it's like because he just is homeless now that he has like illnesses and he can't get proper treatment because he has no like health care.
Or he views like alcoholism as a disease.
That's the other. There's so
like, I'm
it's so
sick.
layered. It's so I don't. Why is this clip?
Why is this here?
Why is this clip not analyzed as much as the steamed hams? Like this needs to be dissected. This fucking moment is so good. So he's like,
what is going on
so
here?
He's pleading for help, and he goes up to like Homer. And he's like, "Please help me, I'm sick." And then Homer
laughs in his face.
They all do.
Yeah.
Everybody is just like, and then he's like, "Look, he's sick." And then he falls face forward in like a water, like a horse water trough, and he just starts drowning. He's like, and then Lisa's like, shouldn't we help him? And then Bart's answer is like, he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
Like, what? The implication being that, like, and no one helps him. So that my thought is like, they think that this man, while he's down on his luck, he's still a performer until like, even, you know what I mean? Like to the end,
they think he's
an
performing
entertaining.
or something.
So they think that like, this is a bit. Like he knows how to hold his breath or some shit. Like
I don't know what the fuck.
I can't. I have rewatched this clip. I don't know. If I have a bad day, I will put this clip on. Like,
it's possibly one of the darkest jokes.
I think it is probably the darkest joke in the in my golden
barring like Frank Grimes dying.
Yes, barring the darkest
That's,
episode. That's the darkest episode. This is the darkest one-off joke in the entire series. Is this fucking joke? Yeah, the help me, I'm sick. Oh, I can't get enough of that fucking joke. We were dying before we even started. Like I didn't even get to it. And we were because you knew it was coming. Yeah,
it's so needlessly cruel, out of left field. There's no call for it. It's just like I have so many questions. It's
but like also. Help me, I'm sick.
And then the line delivery.
Everyone just laughing at him. Yeah. Like so you're basically they're watching a man die before their eyes and they're just doing nothing. Like as if it's
he knows what he's doing.
Can't get enough. Yeah. Okay. So while there, Grampa drinks a ton of I think it's like sarsaparilla.
Sarsaparilla.
Yeah, he drinks like a shitload of bottles of sarsaparilla. The family leaves, and he really has to pee. And Homer absolutely refuses to stop, to let Grandpa pee.
That's right. Yeah, this makes no sense. Yeah.
For no reason. Just for an absolutely no reason. So Homer is just like needlessly cruel and mean, and none of the family say anything. Like, they're all like, Dad, come on, stop. Grandpa's got... No.
Yeah, not even Lisa.
No one says
Lisa's
anything.
Like, oh, come on.
So the entire time, Grandpa's like, I really got to pee. And this goes for like 2 minutes.
There's a rest area. Pull over. Can't stop now. We're making great time.
Oh, can I go behind a tree?
What are you, an animal? Whoever keeps saying, please stop back there, better quit it.
Oh.
Of them like driving. I think they even passed like a giant toilet to like really make...
Yeah, there's a gag where it's like, oh, it's like the world's biggest toilet or something like
so
that.
Grandpa, it's like, the man needs to piss and he needs to relieve himself and Homer just refuses to stop, just being cruel. It's just like, again, so remember I said this is where it's not funny. This is cruel. It's just elder abuse, but it's not funny. Like I find it crosses the line. It goes way too like, what is the logic here? I think Homer is like saying something like, I don't want to stop. We're making too good a time. I got to get back in time to watch something or some shit.
Yeah.
It's dumb. It's awful. This leads to Grandpa holds his bladder so long, his kidneys explode.
Yeah, that's
Which
right.
is also pure nonsense.
It's nonsense.
Yeah, it's pure nonsense. And then this requires him to need a kidney transplant from Homer because Homer is a viable donor. Freaked out by the idea of the procedure, Homer runs away like a coward until eventually returning from guilt.
Yes.
I fucking hate this episode. I hated it. I've seen this episode, I think 3 times. Like, I think once when it first came out, a second time on a rerun, and then now upon my rewatch. And every time I watch it, I find more reasons to hate it. And it sucks that one of the funniest
just one-off random
gags, jokes in The Simpsons is stuck in one of the worst episodes in the entire series.
Yeah.
Fuck this fucking episode. So I've got Homer just comes across like a dick in this episode.
Just needlessly cruel to his own family.
It's honestly maybe the worst version of Homer ever.
We're almost home, Dad. Only a couple more times over the horizon, but I might explode. You just sit back and relax. I'm not gonna let anything happen to my old dad.
Oh, dear God. This man's kidneys have exploded.
Yeah, Homer and the family ignoring Grampa was always a running gag in the show, but they take it way too far in this episode.
Yeah.
Again, it becomes mean-spirited. And back to Homer being an absolute dick. Why he's just like, let the man go fucking piss.
Yeah.
Why, that's not fun to watch.
No, even as a kid, I remember watching it being like, it seems especially cruel. Like, yeah.
And a running gag, too, is like Homer ignoring his father is also kind of a funny thing where like Homer's always trying to like hide from Grandpa because he doesn't want to interact with him. And
yeah,
there's some good moments in the series about that. But in this episode, Homer is just such an asshole and he's such a dick.
Well, he's also a coward through most of the episode, too. So does this resolve in any like satisfying way? It's been ages since I've seen the ending of this episode.
It's 10 fucking minutes of Homer running away like a coward without anything funny happening. Half the episode is just Homer being like, I gotta run from my problems.
Yeah, does he like run out the window right before the surgery?
Yeah,
and he's just on the run.
Yeah, and he ends up on like a ship at one point and runs into like some other people that are like, we are all running away from our problems, and it's just not funny.
This is the laziest thing when
funny.
You have to pad out time by like a character's running away and running away and
they run into random things, none of which are funny.
Yeah,
it's a terrible episode. Terribly written. Homer is cruel. He's mean. He's a fucking coward. And speaking of, I'm glad you asked, like, what is the resolution? The ending is absolute fucking dog shit. So this is how it ends. This is a resolution. Homer eventually is guilty, and he's like, no, I got to do the right thing. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I didn't go through with it. He comes back. Grandpa's dying. So that's the other thing. It's not fun to watch.
Life or death.
It's not not fun to watch. Every time they cut back to because they cut back to the hospital and the family with Grandpa trying to make him comfortable. He's like dying.
Yeah,
like,
that's not
fun.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So Grandpa is getting worse and worse. Homer comes back. Abe is still alive, and he's like, "All right, Dad, like we'll do this, right?" No, then he runs out the window again. You don't remember this?
I do, yeah.
So then he runs out the window again, just as the surgeries, just as they're about to like prep him for surgery, but he runs into traffic and gets hit by a car. And then he wakes up in the hospital, he's in like a body cast, and they're like, oh, we took the kidney out of you while you were unconscious.
What? Hey!
While we were setting your broken bones and putting your blood back in, we helped ourselves to a kidney and gave it to your father.
You butchers! Give it back! Give me that! Come on!
So they basically Homer was such a coward that they had to do it while he was 100% unconscious from an unrelated incident. And then Abe walks in and he's like got a new lease on life.
That makes no sense.
It's fucking stupid. It's such a dumb fucking episode. Fuck this episode. Fuck you. Fuck the people watching this. Fuck the people tuning in through fucking iTunes or Spotify, whatever the fuck. Fuck everybody. All right? That's how fucking heated. I'm just hungry. Let's go get something to eat.
Oh.
We're going to take a break, folks. We will return.